Good evening, and welcome to the Edsel Ford Auditorium. We are delighted to present one of William Shakespeare's most beloved tragedies, Macbeth, for you all this evening. We hope you enjoy this evening's performance. Thank you.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Upon the heath,
there to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that, as seemeth by his play? He can revolt the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend, and say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful as stood, as two spent swimmers cling together and choke their art, the merciless Macdonald, worthy to be a rebel, for that the multiplying villainous of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses supplied. But all's too weak for the brave Macbeth, who brandished his steel and carved him from the navel to the chops, and set his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentleman!
Shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. Soon as comfort seems to come, soon discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark, and the Norwegian lord with his surveying vantage soon began a fresh assault.
Dismay this not our captains, Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion, I say sooth. I must report, there was 2 cannons charged with double cracks. I cannot tell, for I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
May thy words become thy wounds, they smack of honor both. Go get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
Such a haste looks through his eyes, so should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
God save the king.
From whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal Thane of Cawdor, began most dismal conflict as anyone could bear, and to conclude, the victory fell upon us.
Oh, great happiness!
And now the Swano, the Norway's king, craves composition till we deign him burial of his men at St. Kelm's Inch, $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall receive our bosom interest. With his present death, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
The sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, around thee which the rumfit runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master o' the tiger, but in a sieve out thither sail, and like a rat without a tail. I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wine.
Thee art kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other. In the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know, I, the shipman's card, I'll hang him dry as hay. He shall sleep neither night nor day. Hang upon his penthouse lid shall he live a man forbid. Weary 7 nights, 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it must be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, racked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus to go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9.
Piece the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called the Fours? What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like inhabitants of the earth, and yet are aught? Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, by each at once her choppy finger, laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Well, speak if you can. What are you?
Hail to thee, Thane of Glams!
All hail Macbeth, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail Macbeth that shall be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction, of noble having and of royal hope. That he seems wrapped withal, to me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me who neither beg nor fear your favors, nor your hate.
Hail!
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 Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail!
Stay! You imperfect speakers, tell me more! By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glams, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives! A prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the reason of belief no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why, upon this blasted heath you stop us, with such prophetic greeting? Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal had melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed?
Were such things here that we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings!
You shall be king!
And Thane of Cawdor too, it not so.
To the selfsame tune and words, who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal ventures in the rebels' fight, his wonders and praises do contend. He finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, along with strange images of death, as thick as tale as anyone could bear.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to bear thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him thee, Thane of Cawdor, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glams and Cawdor, the greatest is behind. Thank you for your pains. Do you not hope your children to be kings, when those who promised Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths that win us to honest trifles, to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word I pray you.
2 truths are told. A swelling axe to the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. His supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good, if ill. Why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion that doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart not keep my ribs? My thought, whose murder is yet but fantastical, shakes, so every state of man is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance shall crown me king, why chance shall crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him, like strange garments cleave not to fit their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what's come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favour. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Gentlemen, your pains are registered every day where I turn the leaf to read them. Lead us toward the king. Think on what hath chanced. And at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very glad.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
They are not yet come back, my liege. But I have talked with one who saw him die, who did report very frankly. He confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing as 'twere a careless trifle.
There is not art to find the mind's construction in the face. He's a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin! The sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before the swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more as I do, than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself, your highness. Our part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne, state, children, servants, doing everything we can safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I've planted thee, and will begin to grow thee. True, noble Banquo, who has no less deserved, nor must not be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee close.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, and thanes, and you, whose places are nearest, know that we will establish our state upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Which honor must not be unaccompanied, invest him only to signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers, hence to Inverness and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be the harbinger myself and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step in which I must o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my deepest and darkest desires. The eye winketh the hand, so let that be when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full, so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, who not to bid us welcome, but a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned, by the perfectest report, that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Was I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title, before, these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver to thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glams thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, thou art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Would thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'st have, great Glams, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and yet which thou
Rather fear to do than wishest should be undone. Hie me hither.
Pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round which fate and metaphysical aid seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
Fair maiden, the king comes here tonight.
Thou art glad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were it so, would have been formed for preparation?
So please you it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than could make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature may shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk, for golly, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blankets of the dark, to cry holds, holds. Great Glams, worthy Cawdor, bearded them both by the all hail hereafter. Your letters have transported me beyond the ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan, comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that tomorrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time, bear welcome in your hand, your eye, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put the night's great business under my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We shall speak further.
Only look up clear, to alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet does approve by his loved mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made its pendant bed and procreant candle where they most breed and haunt, I have observed. The air is delicate.
Oh, see our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which we still thank is love. Heron, I teach you how you shall bid Goddle us for your pains and thank us for your trouble.
Every point twice done and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. To those of old and the late dignitaries heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We cursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his prevost. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair, noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs, themselves, and what is theirs, in order to make their compt at your highness's purpose, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host, that we love highly, and will continue our gentle graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success that, but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But in these cases, we jump the life to come upon the shoal of time. We still have judgment here first. I am his kinsman, his subject, both strong and willing against the deed. And second, as his host, who should against his murderer turn at the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have but golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hadn't slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own acts and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have which thou esteem'st the ornaments of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the image?
Oh, prithee peace, I dare do that all may become a man.
When you durst do it, then you were the man, and to do it you would be so much more the man. Nor time, nor place to then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and now their fitness does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed its brains out. Had I so sworn, as you have done to this.
If we should fail?
We fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the water of the brain, be but a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. What then cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What's not put against his two spongy officers shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose of nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked of those two with their very own daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our grief and clamour roar upon his death?
I am settled and bend up, each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, mock time with the fairest show. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
Hold, take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that too. A heavy summons lies upon me like lead, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain me in cursed thoughts, that nature gives way into repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great larges to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to detect.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you, they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. But when we can entreat an hour or so upon that topic, I'd like to, if you shall grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
And if you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make an honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but I shall keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
Go bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger in which I see before me? A handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight, or art thou a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshall'st me the way that I was going, and such an item I was to use. I see thee still, and on thy bladed dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business that informs thus to mine eyes. Now o'er the one half-world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Pale Heckit's offering celebrates murder, alarmed by his sentinel the wolf, whose howls his watch. With his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firmest earth, hear not of my footsteps, for thy very stones pray to my whereabouts. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to heat, to cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
What hath made them drunk? Hath made me bold. What hath quenched them? Hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman, who gives the sterns good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, and death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I am afraid they have awakened, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. I had laid their daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had I not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband?
I have done thy deed, did thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
I...
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
Oh, this is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say, a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other, but put them to sleep again.
They were too large together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they see me with these hangman's hands. I cannot say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deep.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I was in needed most a blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought of after these ways, so it'll make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more, to the whole house. Macbeth has murdered their... Oh, sleep. Sleep. Sleep that ravels up the sleeve of care. Sore labor's bath, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Therefore it cried, sleep no more. Macbeth has murdered, therefore glams, therefore Cawdor, and therefore Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble courage to think so brain-sickly of these things. Go, get some water, wash the filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
Oh, I'm afraid to think of what I've done. Look once again, I dare not.
From a purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but his pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What great hands are here? They pluck mine eyes out. All great Neptune's ocean, wash this blood from my hand. No, my hand would rather the multitudinous seas in Carnine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little watcher clears us of the steed. How easy it is then, your constancy hath left you unattended. More knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would if thou cussed.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have all turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, I've napkins enough about you. Here you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name. Here's an equivocator that could swear the scale against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, commit equivocator. Here's, knock, knock. Here's an English tailor, come hither for stealing out a French hose. Oh, come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. What are you? Never quiet, for this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I've a thought to let those of all professions of the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon! I pray to you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Hey, sir, we were carousing to the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, much is to be said about an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him, makes him stand and not stand too. In conclusion, equivocates him to his sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. Tis very throat on me. But I acquitted him for his lie, I think being too strong for him. Though it made up for my legs, and I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy royal master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes now.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both. Is thy royal master stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He hath commanded me to call timely upon him. I had almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. There is the door.
I'll be so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Warily they, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death and prophesying, with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events new hatched for the woeful time. The obscure bird clamoured the lifelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My unremembrance cannot parallel fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart can conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Oh, sacrilegious murder hath broke up the king's anointed temple and stolen thence the life of the building.
What's it you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with the new Gorgon. Do not speak. See and speak for yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo, Dunsinane, Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look upon death itself! Up, up, and look upon the great doom's image! Oh, Malcolm and Dunsinane, as if from your graves arise, and walk like sprites to countenance this new horror! Ring the alarm bell! Oh.
What's this hideous trumpet that calls upon the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, it is not for your ears to hear what I can speak. The repetition in woman's ears would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Woe, alas! What's in our house?
Too cruel anywhere, dear Duff. I prithee thee contradict thyself, and say it is not so.
Had I died but an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant there is nothing serious in morality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The life of wine is draught. It's mere less his fault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are. Don't know it. The head, the fountain, the very source of your blood has been stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
Oh, by whom?
Those of its chamber, it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood, as were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Whenceforth did you so?
Who can be wise? Amazed, temperate, and furious, all in a moment, no man. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and the stabs looked like a breach in nature. Who could refrain? That had a heart to love, and in thy love, courage to make loves known.
Help me, hence!
Look to the lady.
Why do we hold our tongues? That most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here? Where fate, hid in an auger hole, may rush and seize us. Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady! And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and then against the undivulged pretense of treasonous malice I fight!
And so do I.
So all!
Let's put a briefly manliness to ready and meet in the hall together.
Well contented.
Let us not consort with them. The office of an unfelt sorrow is one the false man does easy. How to England?
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there are daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the near are bloody.
This murderous shaft that hath shot hath not yet lighted, so our safest way is to avoid its aim. Therefore, to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. For there is warrant in that theft which steals itself when there is no mercy left.
10, I remember well. Hours dreadful and things strange in the volume of which I have seen.
Ha, good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act. Was tonight's predominance or the day's shame that the face of earth and tomb and living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural. Like the deed that's done on Tuesday last, a falcon, cowering in her hiding place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out their cages, contending against all obedience that would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
'Tis true, to the amazement of mine own eyes that looked upon. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried away to Kelm, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors, and guardian of their bones.
Was it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath killed.
That's the day. What good could they pretend?
They have been suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, putting upon them suspicion of the deed.
Will you just gone?
No, cousin, I'll to Fife.
I will thither.
And may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes hang easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's bench and go with you and with those that make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now, King, Cawdor, Glomps, all. As the weird women promised, and I fear, thou playedst most foully for't. Yet it was said, it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope. But hush, no more.
Oh, here is our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been in all thing unbecoming.
Tonight, we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I request your presence.
Let your highness commend upon me, to which my duties are most indelusible forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
Well, we should have else required your good advice. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, we will fill up the time. Twixt this and supper go not for my horse for the better, for I will become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing to their cruel parricides. Well, adieu, hie you to your horse. Goes Fleance with you.
Aye, my good lord, our time does call upon.
Farewell. Gentlemen, we will keep ourselves alone till 7 at night. Until then, God be with you. Sada, a word with you, please. Attend those men our pleasure. To be safely thus is nothing, but our fearsome Banquo stick deep. There is none but him whose being I do fear. Under him, my genius is rebuked as Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when they first put name of king upon me, then prophet-like, preceded him to a line of kings and put a fruitless crown on my head, and a barren spectre in my grip, no son of mine succeeding. If to be so, for Banquo's issue have I murdered the gracious Duncan, put rancors in the vessel of peace, and given mine eternal jewel to the common enemy of man. Who's there? Stay at the gate until we call. Gentlemen, was it not yesterday that we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Now, have you considered any of my speeches? Know that it was he in times past, which has held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our good self.
You made it known to us.
I did so and went further, which is now our second point in meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man that hath both bowed your hand to the grave and beggared yours forever.
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue you go for men as mongrels and greyhounds and spaniels and curs and waterhogs and sloths all go by the name of dogs. The file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, everyone whose bounteous nature does fit the gift. Now, if you have a station in the file, not to the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms.
I am one, my liege, who the vile blows and buffets of this world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disaster, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend or be rid on't.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with bare-faced power, sweep him from my sight forever, though I must not. For friends that are his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, do as you command us.
Though our lives.
Tonight, I will acquaint you with the most perfect spy of the time. Fleance, his son, who is no less material to me than his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
My lord.
'Tis concluded. Banquo, if thy soul's flight must find heaven, it must find out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court? Say to the king I will attend his leisure for a few words.
Madame, I will.
Not had, all spent, when in desires got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell a doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using these thoughts which should indeed have died, with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll be herself as our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let not the frame of things be destroyed. Both worlds will suffer. Ere we eat our meal and sleep, in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. To gain our peace, we have sent to peace. In reckless ecstasy, Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he rests well. Molest, domestic, foreign levy, nor steel nor poison, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
And so I pray to you, let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. We must make our faces vizards to disguise what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions my mind is, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copy is etern.
You're to be joking. The bat hath flown his cloister flight to pale black Heckit summonings. The shard-born beetle, with his drowsy hams, tonight's yawning appeal, there shall be a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of the pitful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and crow make the rocky wood. A marvelst at my words, so prithee, go with me.
But who did thee join with us?
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our office and what we are to do to the right just direction.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers some streaks of day. Now spurs the elated traveler apace to gain a timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Give us a light there, huh?
Then 'tis he. The rest are within the note of expectation already in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but it does usually, so all men do. From hence to the palace gate, make it their walk.
A light, a light!
Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good fleas! Fly, fly, fly! Oh, slave!
Who did strike out the lights?
Was it not the way?
There's brought one down. Son's fled.
We have lost best half our fare.
Let's away and say how much is done.
You know your own degree. Sit down. Have first and last a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. In time, we will require the likeness of our hostess.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
Well, the table full, here I'll sit in the midst. Anon, we'll drink a measure, the table round. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo then.
'Tis better he than is he dispatched.
Most royal sir, his throat is cut. That much I did for him.
Thou art the best, all cut throats. That did the like for fleance, thou art the nonpareil.
Fleance is scat.
I had else been perfect. Whole as the marble, founded as the rock, but now I am cabined, confined. But Banquo safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 15 trench gashes on his head.
Thanks for that. Well, get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouched. While 'tis a making, 'tis given with welcome. To feed where best at home, from thence the sauce is meat to ceremony. Meeting where bear without it.
A sweet remembrance, sir. Now we wait on good digestion and health and appetite on both.
May it please your highness sit.
The table is full.
There's a place reserved.
Where?
Here, sir.
Which of you have done this?
What? My good lord.
Thou can't say I did it. Don't shake thy gory looks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seats. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I am a bold one, that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger, which you said led you to Duncan. All these flaws and starts, impostures, too true fear would soon become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandmam. When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, behold, look! Lo, how say you, if thou canst nod, speak to? If charnel houses and our graves must be sent back, they shall be the monuments of kites.
What, quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
My worthy lord, your noble friends forget you.
Oh, I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, and those that know me think nothing of it at all. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss would he were here, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt and quit thy sight! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes that those do glare with.
Think of this, worthy peers, as but a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the hurricane tiger, take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble again. Avaunt and quit thy sight, unreal mockery, hence! My soul being gone, I am a man again. Pray you sit still.
You have broke the good meeting and displaced the mirth with most admired disorder.
Such things overcome us like a strange summer's cloud. You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when the natural ruby of your cheeks is blanched with fear, when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and may better health attend his majesty.
Blood will have blood, they say. Stones have been known to move, trees to speak augurs, and understood relations have brought forth Chopies, the secret man of... What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
How is it that Macduff denies his person at our great biding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it, by the way, but I will send. There's not one of them in a house I keep a servant feed, and betimes I will tomorrow to the weird sisters, for I desire to know more, for my own good.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, we'll to sleep. We are yet but young indeed.
Why? How now, Heckit? You look angrily.
Have I not reason, beldams as you are, saucy and overbold? How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, or show the glory of our art? And which is worse, all you have done hath been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. But make amends now, get you gone, and at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. Your spells and your vessels provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I shall come unto a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon there lies a vaporous drop profound. I shall catch it ere it come to ground, and that distilled by magic's lights shall cast such artificial sprites, and by the strength of their illusion shall dawn him onto his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Hark, I am called, little spirit sea, sits on a foggy cloud and waits for me.
Come, let's make haste. Soon she'll be back again.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. You cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father. Damn it, fact! How did grieve Macbeth? He not straight and pious rage the two delinquents tear, that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So to that I say he has borne all things well. And had he Duncan's sons under his key, as, and please heaven he shall not, they should find what 'twere to kill a father. So should Fleance. But peace, for from broad words, because he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives a disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets' bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report has so exasperated the king that he prepared for some attempt of war.
Sent you to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute, "Sir, not I," the cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums, as who should say, "You'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer."
And that one might advise him to a caution to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, the swift blessing may return to this, our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
At this time, we will have a 15-minute intermission. Thank you.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Poppia cries, "'Tis time, 'tis time." Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Days and nights has 31, sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first in the charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of a dragon, tooth of a wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf, of the ravened salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark, finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab, add thereto a tiger's chaldron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with some baboon's blood.
Then the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pains, and everyone shall share the gains. And all about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in.
By a pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Open, locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black midnight hags, what is it you do?
a deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged into trees and be blown down, though castles topple onto their warders' heads, and palaces and pyramids slope from their heads to their foundations, and of nature's Germans tumble altogether, answer me to what I ask of you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if the hadst hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Kelm, let me see him.
Pour in Sal's blood that hath eaten, her 9 Pharaoh grease that sweeten. From the murderers give it throw into the flame.
Come
high or low,
thyself in office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought, hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, beware Macduff, beware the thine of fight. Dismiss me, enough.
Thanks for that. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. He is another more potent than the first.
Macbeth! Macbeth! Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of wood born shall harm Macbeth.
And live Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make double assurance and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king?
Lion metal, bold and take no care. Who shies, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish me until great Burnham woods to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree, unfix his earthbound root, sweet Bottomand's good? Never rise till the wood of Burnham rise, and our high place Macbeth shall live the lees of nature. But my heart throbs to know one more thing. Tell me, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, an eternal curse will fall on all of you. Let me know.
Show.
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art like the spirit of Banquo down. The third is like the first. A fourth, start eyes. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A seventh, I'll see no more. But yet an eighth appears, who bears the glass which shows me many more. And I can see it now. For thy blood-boltered Banquo stands upon me and smiles at them for his. What is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazingly? Come, sisters, cheer up his sprites, and show him the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What is your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my good lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damn all that trust them. I did hear the galloping of a horse. Who was it came by?
It is 2 or 3, my lord. They bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou ante-past my dread exploits. From now on, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Give the edge of the sword to his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. Where are these men? Come bring me where they are.
What had he done to fly the land? You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom?
To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansions, his titles, and a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants the natural touch of the poor wren. The most diminutive of birds will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, so runs against all reason.
My dearest cuz, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors, and hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, and float upon a wild and violent sea. Each way and move, I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. My prettiest cuz, blessing upon you.
Father he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be to my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sarah, your father's dead. What will you do? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
With worms and flies?
With what I get. I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird, thou'st never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds they are not set for. My father is not dead for all your saying.
Yes, he is dead. Now how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how wilt thou do for a husband?
I can buy me 20 at any market.
So you'll buy him to sell him again?
Thou speaks with all thy wit, and yet I faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all that swear and lie traitors?
Every one that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
And the liars and the swearers are fools! For there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them!
God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If he were not, then I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst!
Bless you, fair dame, though I am not known to you, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly, if you will take a messenger's advice. Be not found here, hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I'm too savage. To do worse to you were foul cruelty, which deny your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometime, I count it dangerous fully. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place unsanctified, where such as thou must find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest! Thou shagged villain!
You egg! Your pride treachery!
He has killed me, Mother! Run! I murder!
Let us seek out this desolate shade, and here weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and, like good men, bestride our downfall and birthdom. With each new morn, new windows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face that it resounds as if felt with Scotland and heard with syllable of dolor.
What I believe, all wail, and what no believe. And what I can redress, as I shall find the time to friend I will. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He has not touched you yet. But I am young, and something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an empirical charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance, even there where I find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave taking, I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. That which you are, you may be rightly just.
Bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy base ashore. For goodness dare not check thee. Lay thou thy wrongs. The title is afeard. Fare thee well, Lord, for I am not the evil that thou thinkst, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I believe our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day gashes are added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it upon my sword, my country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than ever, by him who shall succeed.
And what should he be?
'Tis myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted, that when they be compared with black Macbeth, he will seem as pure as snow, and the poor estate esteem him as a lamb.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none. In my voluptuousness, your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cisterns of my lust, nor all continent impediments or bear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth to rule than such as I.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the emptying of the happy throne and the downfall of many kings. But do not fear yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet still seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
And this there grows in my most ill-composed affections such a staunchless avarice that were I king, I would cut the nobles from their land, desire his house and his others' jewels, and my more having would be a sauce to make me hunger more, to destroy the good and loyal for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer-seeming lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. But yet do not fear. Scotland hath voyaged to fill up the will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none the king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, lowliness, mercy, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but I abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I would pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, and confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Oh, nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptered, when wilt thou see thy wholesome days again? For the truest issue of thy throne in his own interdiction stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed. Your father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well, for these evils that repeats upon thyself hath banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, my hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped these black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these means, hath thought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me, for even now I set myself to thy just direction. I here unspeak mine own detractions, abjure these taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than in life. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am in truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither, indeed, before thy here approach, old Seward and 10,000 warlike men were already standing at a point and setting forth. Now we'll together, and chance be good like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile.
Comes the king anon, I pray you.
Hey, sir, there are a crew of wretched souls that stay his cure. Their malady comes into such sanctity, hath heaven given his hand, they present thee a man.
I thank you, doctor.
What is the disease he means?
'Tis called the evil. A most miraculous work, which often since my here remain in England I have seen in this good king. How he solicits heaven himself best knows. But strangely visited, all people swoln and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery, he cures. And hanging golden stamps about their necks, set on with holy prayer. And 'tis said he leaves the healing benediction to the succeeding royalty. By many of these strange virtues he hath a heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne, and sing him full of grace.
Aye, see who comes here.
My countryman, yet I know him not.
My ever gentle cousin, welcome thither.
Sir, amen.
Let days be removed that make us strangers.
Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost a fair to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but 'tis most like a flower on a dead man's knell dying, or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest brief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And my children?
Well, too.
They have not battered at their peace.
They were at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a miser of your speech. How goest?
I have some news, and which has some woe that pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever. I am but a messenger.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wives, babes, savagely slaughtered by 3 that did come.
Merciful heaven! Man, nay, pull your hat over your brow. Give sorrow words. The grief that is left unspoken whispers the all-fought heart and bids it break.
My children too.
Wives, children, servants, all they could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make this the medicine of all great revenge.
He has no children. Oh, my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hell kites, all my pretty chickens in their tam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were more precious to me. Did heaven look upon me and not play their part? Simple Macduff, they were slain for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine. I'll slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Make this a whetstone of your sword. Convert this grief to anger. Blunt not your heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. But good heaven, cut short all intermission. Front to front, put thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Put him within my sword's length. And if he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for the shaking. The heavens above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since his majesty went to the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, after seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this when the most fast asleep.
A great perturbation in nature, who once received the great benefit of sleep, and to the effects of watching in this slumber agitation. Besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you actually heard her say?
That sir shall not report after her.
You may to me. If this was meet, you should.
Nor you nor anyone have no witness to confirm my speech. Lord, here she comes. Her very guising upon my life. Fast asleep, observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has laid by her continuously. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses are shut.
What is it she does now? Look at how she rubs her hands.
Is it custom action, seems thus washing her hands? I have known her continue this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I shall set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot, out, I say. 1, 2, why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fee, my lord, fee, a soldier and afeard. What need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all this with starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has known what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Yet here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia would not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I will not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. I have known those who have risen from their beds who have died horridly in their sleep.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out one's grave.
Even so?
To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows shall discharge their secrets. More need you the divine than a physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from all means of annoyance while keeping eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has made and amazed my sight. I think but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Good Macduff. Revenge upon them for their dear causes. What to the bleeding and the grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them. That way they are coming.
Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry. There is a seaward son, and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood.
What is the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others who lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. Certainly cannot buckle his distemper truth within belts of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking on his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start when all that is within him condemns itself for being there?
Well, march we on to give obedience which is truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him, pour we in our country's purge, each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly. Till Burnham would come to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm anyway? Was he not of woman born? All mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man that's born of woman shall have power upon thee. And fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. Thou cream-faced loon, where goes that goose look?
There is 10,000
Geese, villain?
soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy fear and overhead thy face, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers patch?
The English force.
Take thy face hence. Satan! I'm sick at heart, but when I put... Satan, I say! This push will ever cheer or deceit me now, as sere into the fallen yellow leaf of time, love, honor, obedience, troops of friends. Satan!
What's his pleasure?
What news more?
I'll come for my lord.
Give me mine armor.
My maid
I'll put it on. Skirt of the country road, send out horses, hang those that talk of fear. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Hear her of that. Can thou not minister to a minded disease of rooted sorrow and cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
I'll throw sight to the dogs. They'll have none of it. Come bring me mine armor. Give me my sword. Satan, send out. The thanes fly from me. Doctor, if you could, cast the water on my land. Find your patient to an echo of pristine health. I would applaud thee to the very echo of that. Say what rhubarb, senna, or purgative drug would scour these English hands. Hear naught of them.
Aye, my good lord. Your road preparation makes us hear something.
Very well. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
I from Dunsinane, away and clear. Prophet again shall hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that chambers shall be safe again.
We doubt it nothing.
But what is this before us?
The word of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a branch and bear it before him. That by we shall make air in report of our numbers.
It shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and we endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less am given him the revolt. Nothing remains in his service but constrained things that have no hearts.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Certain issue strokes must relate, but certain issues must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Cry is still they come, and our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. We will meet them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise? I have almost forgotten the taste of fears. Thou would have cooled to hear a night shriek. I have supped, full of horrors, tiredness. My familiar, slaughterless thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry? She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out a brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comes to use thy tongue. Tell thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I shall report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Say it.
As I stand my watch upon the hill, I look toward the burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath. If not be so, within this 3 mile way, may you see it coming, I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shall hang, and so famine cling to thee. If thou speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend. Fear not until Burnham would come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes towards Dunsinane. Harm, arm, and out. If this which he avouches does appear, there is no flying, hence no tarring here. Ring the alarm bell. Come what? Come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now, near enough your leafy screens cast down, and show like that you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my right noble cousin lead us in our first battle. Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains according to our order.
Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
Me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear like I must fight the course. Who was he that was of woman born? Such one I am to fear or none?
What is thy name?
Thou would be afraid to hear it.
Thou callest self a harder name than any is hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself cannot pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No more fearful.
Thou liest, aborted tyrant. With my sword I will prove the lie you speakest.
Thou wast of woman born. Well, swords I smile at, weapons left to scorn, brandished by a man that's of woman born.
That way the noise is! Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou foul be slain, and by no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot bear to swing at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my blade with an unbattered edge I sheath again undeeded. There thou shouldst be, by this great clatter, one of greatest note seems brooded. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
My lord, the castle's gently rendered. Tyrants' people on both sides do fight.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die upon my own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn.
Of all men else, I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out!
Thou loosest labor, as easy mice drew the enchanted hair, I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue which tells me so, for it has cowed my better part of man, and no more these juggling fiends that believed in a pottered sense, that break the word of hope and keep the word of promise to our ear. No, I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole and underwrit. Here you may see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Though Burnham would come to Dunsinane, and thou oppose not being of woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on Macduff, and damn him the less that cry hold. Enough!
We shall not spend a large, expensive time before we reckon with your several loves.
Some must go off, but a day as this seems cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and your right noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He fought like a man, but as a soldier he died.
Then he is dead?
Aye, and brought off the field.
Had he his hurts before?
On the front.
Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish them a fairer death. And so his knell is knolled.
He is worth a great expense of sorrow, and that I shall spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well, and he paid his score. And so, God be with him.
God be with him.
But here comes newer comfort.
Hail thee, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is now free. I see thee encompassed in thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutations in their minds, and whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever in Scotland such an honor named. And What's newly planted with the times, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the watchful snares of tyranny, producing forth this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who 'tis thought of self and violent hand took off her life. What's else to do by the grace of grace we shall perform in measure, time, and place. And thanks to all and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Skirn.